Hello everyone, Silver here. As mentioned in my last video, which was the introduction to FreeSpace 2 or FreeSpace Open as the open source variant is called, this will be a more closer look on my project titled New Path. As I said, the goal of this project is to create a campaign for FreeSpace 2, which takes place after the end of the official canon timeline. It will have some references to other fan-made non-canon campaigns, but for the most part it will be a standalone story that continues the story after we left at the end of FreeSpace 2. The main reference to other fan-made campaigns will be to the Blue Planet campaign, which is, in my opinion, one of the best fan-made campaigns for FreeSpace Open ever. It excels in storytelling and gameplay, and is overall just fun to play, although unfortunately the story is not yet complete. The title for my project, New Path, is in fact a reference to Blue Planet because I decided to put my story on a different path than they did, but the title also has an in-universe reference, which I will not go into too much detail here because I do not want to spoil anything about the story of my campaign yet. The campaign will actually be 3 campaigns because my story is divided into 3 chapters. The first chapter is already fully scripted and ready to go. For the second chapter I have mission pitches and a rough story overview. And for the third chapter I already have some ideas on where to go with it, but there I'm still in the very early stages of scripting out the story and especially its end. So now you know what this project is about, at least roughly. What do I need for you who may want to contribute? First and foremost, I need people who are willing to get into the FreeSpace editor called Fred and implement the missions that I have scripted. Since the missions are the backbone of this campaign, this is the main thing that has to be completed. Second step then is playtesting. So if you have no interest in creating those missions, you may be interested in playing them and testing them and finding bugs in them. A third step, which can potentially start already during the playtesting phase, is then the polishing, which are of course fixing all the bugs that are found during playtesting, tweaking and balancing the missions, but also improving them with more animations or maybe even voice acting. But for that I'm not quite sure if we want to tackle that, because that's a huge endeavor in itself to create a high quality voice acting for such a campaign. So I'm not sure if I want to go there yet. Let's say you're interested in helping me. What do you need? So first of all, you need 2 things in order to play FreeSpace Open in general. So the first thing is a retail copy of FreeSpace 2. You still need this retail copy of FreeSpace 2 because while the source code project has more or less completely recreated everything from the original game with their own models and tools and so on, there are still some things left from the original retail files that is needed in order to play the game, especially the voice acting files. Volition, the original developer, only released the source code for the game engine, but not all the assets that are needed to play the game. Those are still under the license of the publisher of FreeSpace 2, and so as some of them, as I said, are still needed, you need to buy a retail copy, which can be bought on GOG.com, for example, for I think it's about €9 or maybe $10 or whatsoever. When you have the retail copy, then you need the NoSource installer and mod manager for FreeSpace Open. That's the main tool that will download the open source engine for FreeSpace 2 and all the new high definition models and textures and so on that are needed to play the game in the more modern state. Just download and install this tool. You will be asked during installation where the retail FreeSpace is installed, and then of course a folder where NoSource will be installed. That can be within the original FreeSpace folder, but it doesn't have to be. and in this no source folder then all the data for the models and stuff for FreeSpace Open, as well as all the other campaigns you might want to download, will be put in. I would recommend you to download at least 3 mods for FreeSpace Open. First is the Media VP version of FreeSpace, because that's all the high definition models and textures and so on to help you play FreeSpace in the best visual possibility. Second is the FreeSpace Port Media VP. That's a recreation of the original campaign of FreeSpace 1 within the engine of FreeSpace Open, with also high definition models and effects. And third, as I mentioned, the Blue Planet campaign is one of the best campaigns for FreeSpace Open ever, so I would highly recommend you to download that as well. With those 3 mods you already have a lot of things you can play through and get into FreeSpace Open. I think that's a very good start into this game. And that's all you need if you just want to play the game or playtest a My New Path campaign. If you want to actually help create this campaign, then you need another tool in order to get the data for this campaign while it is still being created. In order to store the files for this project and facilitate the work on them, I decided to use GitHub as a platform for a source code repository. The easiest option to get access to such a GitHub repository is the GitHub desktop app. For those who are interested in working on this project, I will create a separate video in which I will explain how to set up the GitHub desktop app and to access my repository and to prepare it to work in conjunction with a no-source installer, but that will be in a separate video because this one's already getting longer than I anticipated. The download link for the GitHub desktop app is in the video description, as is the link to my Discord server, which we can use to communicate with one another. This Discord was originally for my World of Warcraft guild, but I can also use it for this one because my guild is quite inactive, at least on that Discord server. On that Discord server you are also able to get in contact with me, because if you want to access my repository I have to unlock it for you, and so if you contact me on the Discord server I will give you all the access information and the link to the video in which I describe how to set up the GitHub desktop app. Well, that's it for the moment from my side. If you would like to join me in this project, please get in contact with me on the Discord server and we can discuss the details about that. If you know someone else who might be interested in working on a project like that, please share this video with them. Let them get in contact with me. I would really appreciate all the help I can get with that, so we can finish this project in a reasonable amount of time. Thank you so far. My next videos will be about the story of FreeSpace 2 for everyone who's interested in that. See you in the next videos if you like to, or on my Discord server if you want to join me with that project. Until then, take care and goodbye.